I was hanging out with a buddy of mine, who's been eyeing a new fishing kayak for the past few months. He's got a tight schedule, a decent budget, and a handful of lakes he wants to explore without lugging a heavy boat around. He asked me, should I go for a side-and-top model, or try a sit-inside one? And does the price really reflect what I'll get? That's the exact dilemma a lot of people face before they click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Wilderness Systems Recon 120 is a 12-foot side-and-top kayak that tries to strike a balance between stability for standing and enough room for gear. It's marketed with a premium frame seat, dual rod troughs, and a storage system that promises to keep everything from tackle boxes to a small cooler within reach. The real question is whether those promises translate into a day out on the water that feels smooth and hassle-free, or whether you end up fighting with the kayak more than you're fishing. If you spend most of your time casting from the shore and only occasionally paddle out a mile or two, the Recon stability is a big plus. The S.M.A.R.T. hull technology is designed to cut chop and keep the boat tracking straight, which means you'll waste less energy fighting a wobbling hull when you're trying to line up a base. In practice, I've seen anglers use this hull shape on calm reservoirs, and it does glide nicely, especially when you're using the silent traction pads to keep the kayak from sliding sideways while you're standing on the deck. The pads also reduce the noise you make when you shift weight, a subtle but welcome feature when you're trying to sneak up on wary fish. The StowPro Aces seat is where the premium claim gets its best test. It's a mold seat with a cushion that inflates slightly under your weight, giving a bit of give that can be a relief on longer trips. For someone who's on the water for 4 or 5 hours, that extra comfort can keep your back from aching when you're constantly recasting. I've heard from a few anglers that the seat's shape supports a natural fishing posture, letting you lean forward without feeling like you're perched on a hard plank. If you're the type who brings a portable chair and sits on the edge of the kayak, you'll probably appreciate the built-in comfort more than someone who prefers a standing position. Storage is where the Recon tries to set itself apart from other 12-foot models. The StowPro system consists of a large bow locker, a rear hatch, and a couple of side pockets that are accessible without having to crawl around. In a real-world scenario, say you're heading out for a full-day trip with a live bait rig, a small cooler, and a change of clothes, the bow locker can hold a 12-quart cooler with room to spare, while the rear hatch is perfect for a dry bag of electronics, or spare set of waders. The downside is that the storage compartments are not waterproof. You'll need to line them with a dry bag if you expect a rain shower, or are fishing in choppy conditions, where water can splash over the deck. Rod handling is another area that gets specific attention. Dual rod troughs run the length of the kayak, giving you a stable groove for each pole. If you're a 2-rod angler who likes to switch between a light jig and a heavier spinner, those troughs let you keep both ready without fighting for space. I've seen anglers with longer rods, around 78 feet, use the troughs to rest their poles without the kayak tipping. However, the troughs are fixed in width, so if you have a particularly thick or unusually short rod, you might find the fit a little snug. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to keep in mind if your gear is on the non-standard side. Now, who should actually consider buying this kayak? If you're a weekend fisherman who values a stable platform for standing, wants a decent amount of storage without needing a trailer, and appreciates a seat that won't leave you sore after a few hours, the Recon 120 hits a sweet spot. It's also a good fit for families where the extra storage can double as a space for a child's paddle or a small picnic set, and the stability means you're not constantly worried about tipping when a kid jumps aboard. On the flip side, if you're looking for a high-performance race kayak, or you plan to do long-distance touring where every ounce of weight counts, you might feel the Recon is a bit heavy and bulky. Its side-and-top design, while great for stability, offers less protection from cold water, so in cooler climates you'll need a wetsuit, or a dry suit anyway. Also, anglers who are ultra-budget conscious may find the price a little steep compared to more basic models that still provide a stable hull but lack